Have you ever wondered why some people don't seem to be doing anything extraordinary, yet 10 to 20 years later, they are far ahead financially? It's not because they won the lottery. It's not because they bought the one coin that went up 100 or even 1,000 times. It's not because they perfectly timed the bottom of the stock market. And it's not because they suddenly received a massive inheritance. Those kinds of luck don't happen to everyone. The real reason is usually something much simpler. They understand one powerful idea: the snowball effect. A small snowball, if it keeps rolling long enough, becomes a huge one. With more than 10 years of experience working in banking, reading many books about finance, and studying personal finance, I'm Sophia. Today, I want to help you activate your own financial snowball with just $1,000 so your money can start making more money, helping you reach your first $1 million and making goals like buying a home or building wealth for retirement much easier and more relaxing. Let's explore it together. Today, I want to tell you about the snowball effect in investing. Money makes money, and the money it makes continues to make even more money. A simple definition. In finance, the snowball effect is simply compound interest. You invest money. That money generates returns. And the returns stay invested to generate even more returns. That means you're not only earning from your original investment, but also from the profits your money has already produced. It's like planting a tree. In the first year, the tree is small and you don't see much happening. But a few years later, the tree begins to bear fruit, and each season it produces more fruit than the last. Why it feels painfully slow at the beginning. What causes many people to quit is that the early stage feels incredibly boring. You invest regularly every month, but the account barely grows. That's because the snowball is still small. A tiny snowball rolling down the hill is still tiny. But after a few years, once it becomes large enough, something strange happens. It starts rolling faster than you expect. Compound interest usually grows like this: slowly, then suddenly. Now let me tell you the story of James. James is an ordinary person. He's not a financial genius. James simply does two things. 1. Every month he sets aside money for long-term investing. 2. He doesn't try to get rich quickly. James has a stable income, and he can save about $500 to $1,000 per month to invest. James chooses a simple strategy: automatically transfer money every month. Invest long-term into diversified funds, for example, index funds. James doesn't brag about it. He simply stays consistent. A simple assumption. To make things easy to visualize, let's assume a reasonable long-term market return of 8% per year, with monthly contributions. This is an average long-term return, not the best possible return. Just a reminder, this is a simulation to show how the snowball effect works. In reality, some years the market rises strongly, and some years it falls sharply. But over the long term, that's what matters. James's results. If James invests $1,000 per month, after 10 years, total contributions, $120,000, estimated value, about $183,000. After 20 years, total contributions, $240,000. Estimated value, about $589,000. After 30 years, total contributions, $360,000. Estimated value, about $1,490,000, about $1.49 million. This is where the snowball effect starts to give you goosebumps. James didn't win the lottery. He simply stayed consistent and allowed time to do the hardest work. When does compound interest flip the switch? The very first $1,000 investment activates the snowball switch. At that moment, your snowball is only the size of a fist, but it has begun to roll. One important thing to understand: the first 10 years are usually the period where you push the snowball the hardest. The snowball isn't rolling on its own yet. Growth mostly comes from the money you contribute, and progress feels slow. This stage can feel almost like financial torture. At the beginning, James's investment returns are financially almost meaningless. If James invests $1,000 and the market returns 8% in a year, he earns $80. That's nice. Maybe a dinner. But broken down monthly, it's about $3.30 per month. Most people look at that and think it's pointless, barely a cup of coffee, and they ignore the opportunity entirely. It doesn't feel like your money is working for you. It feels like you're working and the money is just sitting there. Eventually, you might find excuses: a new iPhone, a MacBook, new clothes, and spend the money instead. This is the stage where most people quit. They see friends buying boats, BMWs, houses, new gadgets, going to parties every month. Then they look at their own investment account after months or years of sacrifice and see maybe $40 or $50 per month in returns. And they think, what's the point? But here's the key. James is building the foundation of a machine that makes money automatically. And foundations are underground. They are silent. No one sees them. No one congratulates you because the process is quiet. As we saw earlier, when James invests $1,000 per month, it typically takes about 8 to 9 years to reach the first $100,000. This assumes a reasonable saving rate, average market returns, and that James doesn't panic sell during market crashes. Because over 5, 10, or 20 years, the market has historically continued to grow. That first $100,000 is extremely hard. I often compare it to clearing a huge obstacle. Once you cross it, it's time to accelerate. When you pass $100,000, it feels like you're sitting on top of a rocket. At 8% growth, you're no longer earning $80 per year. You're earning $8,000 per year. That's real money. Your snowball is now the size of a car. You still continue contributing regularly, so the snowball keeps growing and collecting more snow. But now, the $100,000 rocket helps accelerate your growth. Your money finally starts doing its job, and it rewards you for the patience you endured during the first decade. The second $100,000, from $100,000 to $200,000, often takes only about 5 years, not 9. You contribute the same amount as before, but now the boredom switches sides. Instead of frustration, you may start smiling when you check your account. The market is now doing enough work for the snowball to roll faster. You're still pushing, but you're no longer the only engine. This is when people say, it's really accelerating now. And they're not lying. Can the snowball roll faster? To keep the snowball rolling in the right direction, you need 2 things. 1. Increase contributions from salary, bonuses, or tax refunds into long-term investments. 2. Give it time. Starting early, even with small amounts, allows time and compound interest to grow your snowball every single day. The temptations James faces. Once James reaches $100,000 or more, many temptations appear. Mistake number 1. After 5 years, James has $74,000. He really wants a nicer car, so he withdraws $24,000. Now he's back to $50,000. It doesn't sound catastrophic, but he didn't just lose $24,000. He lost the $14,000 of accumulated gains and $10,000 of principal that had built up over 5 years. And he lost the compound growth that money could have created over the next 20 years. Mistake number 2. When James has $100,000 or $200,000, friends, relatives, or even financial promoters may tell him, invest in this stock, invest in this project, buy Bitcoin. The returns are much higher. But James is not an expert. If he withdraws money to chase these opportunities, he may lose it, and the snowball gets damaged again. Mistake number 3. The psychological trap. When James's account reaches $1 million, he may feel he should do something more sophisticated. People talk about real estate, angel investing, So he withdraws $200,000 or $300,000 to buy rental property. Now James becomes a landlord. Tenants, repairs, taxes, legal issues. He traded a passive compound interest machine earning 8 to 12% per year for a second job that might earn 5% if he's lucky. Unless you are a real estate professional, it's often better to stay focused on reliable investments. The boring truth: when you have $1 million invested, the best move is often to do nothing at all. Let the funds do the work. Over 20 years, S&P 500 and NASDAQ index funds have outperformed most hedge funds, most landlords, and even most entrepreneurs. The rule during the pushing phase: don't stop pushing. You don't need to be brilliant. You don't need to pick perfect stocks. You don't need to time the market. Just stay consistent and patient long enough to survive the boring phase. Mathematics doesn't care about emotions. If you let it run, it will run. Discipline and patience are the core principles of the snowball effect. But later, especially after 15 to 20 years, something amazing happens. Your investment returns start exceeding your contributions. At that moment, the snowball begins to roll by itself, and you will understand why people say wealth doesn't come from a jump, it comes from a curve. How James actually does it. Here are 4 simple principles to build your snowball. Principle 1: consistency beats intelligence. You don't need advanced knowledge. You don't need to predict the market. Just invest consistently for long enough. One of the easiest strategies is investing in large index funds, such as those tracking the S&P 500 or NASDAQ. Instead of trying to time the market, invest a fixed amount each month automatically. This strategy is called dollar cost averaging, and it removes emotional pressure from investing. The real secret isn't genius or luck. It's discipline, patience, and consistent investing. Principle 2: automate your investments. James doesn't rely on emotions. The moment his salary arrives, he automatically transfers $1,000 into investments. No negotiation with himself. He also maintains an emergency fund to protect against unexpected events such as job loss, medical bills, or car repairs. Financial experts usually recommend an emergency fund covering 3 to 6 months of living expenses. This protects your investment plan from unexpected disruptions. Principle 3: keep it simple and diversified. James doesn't chase miracle stocks. He chooses boring but reliable investments, low-cost diversified funds. Principle 4: protect the plan with an emergency fund. Without an emergency fund, unexpected expenses may force you to withdraw investments at the worst time. Your emergency fund acts as a financial shield for you and your family. Remember this: the snowball hates one thing the most: being broken apart. If you're at the beginning and everything feels slow, remember this: you are not failing. You are in the planting season. No one looks at a seed today and gets angry that there is no tree tomorrow. Investing is the same. Just keep going. The snowball will grow, and one day you'll look back and be surprised how far you've come. Final thoughts. The snowball effect works like this. Start small. Grow slowly. But with enough patience, it creates enormous results. If James can do it with $1,000 per month, you can start with your own number: $50, $100, or $200. Consistency matters more than the amount. If you'd like, I can make a part 2 video about where James should invest: index funds, ETFs, target date funds, how to allocate between emergency funds and investments, and how to stay calm when markets fall. But for now, take a breath, relax, and remember, money making money takes time to be born. These are lessons I've learned through my own journey. I'm Sophia, and I hope this helps guide you on your path toward financial success. I may have missed something, so I would love to hear your thoughts and feedback in the comments so we can all learn together. This video is for educational and informational purposes only and should not be considered financial advice. Viewers are responsible for their own financial decisions. If you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe to support the channel and help me create more content like this.